Treaty United's newest recruit, Bella Flocchini. You're very, very welcome to the show.
Yeah, hi. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Tell us a bit about how a girl from Nevada who went to college in California ends up in Treaty United, because it's been a really, really fine start to your second stint with the club.
Yeah, definitely a interesting path, I think. But so yeah, it started. I had a connection with Kira, the CEO of the club, and so I came last summer just for a couple months to come and train, and I got the opportunity to play in a couple games, which was awesome. And then yeah, I just kind of kept in contact with Craig, and then they announced that Sean was going to be the new coach, and I seen a couple interviews, and I liked what I saw, so I, kind of thought about it, made some decisions, and I decided to come back, and yeah, I'm happy to be here.
What was that? The first spell, was that just a bit of a break from college, coming see a bit of Europe, or what was it that initially, when you say you had a connection with Kira, that sort of got you to come over the first time?
Yeah, I just finished so during spring in college we have some friendly games, so they don't count towards anything, and the summer is usually our off season where we train. So I kind of thought it would be cool. Like when I had the connection with Kira, I kind of thought it'd be a cool opportunity to, like, why not? Like just go to Europe for a couple months, try just train, get better, get some experience. So yeah, when I contacted her, I just FaceTimed her a couple times. I showed her some highlights, and then she she liked what she saw. She talked to the coach. They welcomed me just for that short time. And yeah, it was good.
I'm glad you mentioned highlights, because we've had a little look through your socials briefly. Every single goal is a banger, and it looks like someone's put a career highlight together, but it's just like 4 goals you got last year. What is it about, just like everything seems to be just like top drawer, top corner from distance? You don't do like scrappy goals.
Yeah, I think I mean, even scrappy goals, like as long as it goes in, but I think what I've learned too a lot is just like keep shooting, like keep trying, keep doesn't like if you miss, like it's okay, get it back, do it again, and eventually, like if you just keep going, it'll come. And I think that's helped like lead to my success a little bit with some of my goals.
When you talk about the likes of goals and stuff like that, who would you model yourself off in terms of a footballer? Because the style of play that you have, it's probably quite unique to what we're used to experiencing in the Irish League. I think you'd agree with that, Breffney.
Yeah. Oh, just like like technicality wise, or
Yeah.
yeah. That's tough because I grew up watching like Messi highlights and videos on YouTube like all the time before games. So I think like maybe just from watching him, I love like the technicality and being like a technical player. And um some other my favorite team is Arsenal. So I also would watch a lot of Arsenal highlights like Ozil um and yeah, just older players and stuff. So I think maybe from that I kind of maybe etched it into my brain a little bit, like picked up some style of play from there, like growing up.
Yeah, it's been an impressive start. It's funny. I watched your first game of the season, and you had one little shimmy down the left-hand side, cut back in, had a shot. Maeve Williams saved it, and I immediately text Aaron and says, "You want to check out this girl for Treaty? She's going to be great." And you went on to score and win the game. And it's been impressive since. You you seem to like, based on I suppose San Jose State. Wouldn't have been one of the more fashionable clubs or colleges in NCAA, probably ranked in the lower half of the league. Treaty similar in here. What is it about that style of club or college where you say, I want to be the underdog every week, or is that a conscious decision, or is it just other life reasons for picking that scenario in your footballing career?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think I mean, when I was picking colleges too, like coming from Nevada, there wasn't a lot of great exposure there. So I think when I landed on San Jose State, I was kind of like, okay, this is a cool opportunity to um, like be realistic with where I am as a player. Like I know it could be a school that I can get a lot of playing time at. I could do well at, And I definitely like the underdog mentality. I think just like being able to play somewhere where I know I can really like help out the team and play a lot to like do well. So yeah, I think that is a big part that I like, being able to come on a team, and help out as much as I can with them.
When you talk about that, how much research would you have done about Treaty? Because previous years, when they first come into the league, struggling for games, struggling to win games, struggling towards the bottom end of the table. In the last couple of years, made very, very good strides. How much research would you have done before, the initial contacts with the likes of Kira?
Yeah, I actually I never heard of like Treaty before, and I heard like I know there's a league in Ireland, but yeah, I really didn't know much about like the clubs or I knew the league was kind of new and Treaty was new. But yeah, I didn't really have a lot of information honestly until I like got to Ireland and played for them a little bit. Then I got familiar and then kind of learned about like the league and teams and everything.
Yeah, like I suppose you got a taste of it last summer. I suppose it's promising that you're back, if that makes sense. A lot of people would come in, see a team struggling, maybe in the lower half of the table, and go, "Oh, maybe that's not for me." What was it that drew you back to Treaty?
Yeah. So I think staying. Well, I really liked the girls that were on the team, and so when I heard some of them were coming back or staying, that made me really excited to consider coming back. And then when I saw some interviews about Sean coming in as a new manager, that also got me really excited too, because I liked what he was designing and what he was planning and talking about, kind of rebuilding the team and like his just plan for the whole season. So that also made me kind of excited to come back and just it's always like I just want to learn and gain and get new experiences. So that also is just a major thing to draw me back as well.
I have a two-pronged question here for you. First one, would you have worked with Sean much when he was here when you were here last summer? And secondly, what's the biggest thing you've learned about yourself playing football overseas?
Yeah, I didn't meet Sean at all last in the summer because it was Dom that was the manager then. So yeah, I'd only met Sean over FaceTime a couple times before I came or decided to come over. Um, and I guess the thing I've learned most just being here, and even in the summer, is just learning learning how I play with different players, how I can adapt with certain players playing, and also playing under like a new coach because I was with a college coach for 4 years. So having a new coach and just learning their new tactics and everything in games, like that's helped me grow as a player too. Just learning new styles.
Did you expect 3 games ago when you came in that Treaty would be, I suppose, 1 point off the top of the table? You'd be joint top of the goal scorers charts. Is that your expectation, or is that kind of above your wildest dreams of where you might be at this stage of the season?
Yeah, no, I think that that's a fair expectation. I think definitely like we can finish top four. Like I feel like that's pretty reasonable with how we've been playing and how Sean has helped set us up preseason and season. So I think going in, like I wasn't too surprised because we've been working really hard in practice and doing really good preparations the week before. We know who our opponent is. So I think it's fair that we've come out like strong like that.
It's funny. You'd swear you were listening to me and Breffney before you even come in, because we were actually only saying our Treaty potentially on top four. And what does a game like Shamrock Rovers do? Granted, you lost the game 4-1, but you had enough chances before they got on the score sheet to probably be further ahead as well. What does a game like that, because you were competing up until the very end, what do you learn from a game like that?
Yeah. You just take the positives, the things you did good, things we all did good as a team, and then the things that we didn't do so good, we just take those as learning lessons and just growing opportunities to see like where our weaknesses are or what, kind of what happened, how we got broken down a little bit, and then just rebuilding from there for the next week.
I think for me, we talked about myself and I were briefly chatting before you came into the conversation, but off air. But the game against Rovers, it could have gone either way. There was chances you had a chance or two, maybe that the keeper did really well with, just pushed it wide of the post. I think another couple of chances fell maybe to Gillian O'Toole as well. That had one or two of those gone in at 1-1 or 2-1, it might have been a very different result. Like 4-1 doesn't reflect the game from what we saw looking in.
Yeah, I definitely was like thinking about that after the game. I was like, dang, if we just had, got a couple in maybe earlier, maybe before they kind of had some momentum, it could have been a different game. But I mean, they were a good team. I think a little bit they kind of outplayed us, like definitely in the second half. They got multiple goals. But yeah, the keeper made some good saves. And Jill's goal was really nice. I was happy she got a goal. But yeah, I definitely think if we had gotten maybe a couple in the first half, it could have changed the course of the game. But yeah, it went the way it did. And yeah, we just take it, learn from it.
To be competing though in them sort of games, and when you talk about taking the positives away, I think that has to be one of the biggest positives, is the fact of the way for long periods of that time you match Shamrock Rovers' intensity, the amount of chances that you actually create in that game. That must be one of the biggest positives.
Yeah, they were a good team, and I think they had a lot of their team is much older, and I feel like our team is fairly young. We have a lot of young players. So I mean, for even us to like be ahead 1-0 on them and even tied at half, like it was a good battle between both teams.
I suppose you're not really au fait with the Treaty United that we would have known, not last year, but the years before, wasn't very competitive. So seeing you being competitive is great to see a team in the Midwest doing that. Who's impressed you in the squad? Because I suppose Gillian O'Toole has come in. She was here last year as well, but she's made a really good impression this season. Madison McGran has impressed me coming in, and Grace, I'm going to butcher her surname. No, Grace Ringer played in the first game out in the left wing, and I thought she did really, really well. I don't know if she's featured much since, but there's some really good young, including some Irish international players coming through that squad. It must be a really positive dressing room to be in at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. I think, I mean, even like Lisa, our goalie, she came in same time as me. She's been awesome for us. Even Kate in the middle, she's like 16 years old. Yeah, Madison, they're like 16-year-old players going up against like, 30-something-year-olds. And yeah, they've been doing really well. Even like our center right now, Claudia, she's been good for us. Yeah, it's just been like good energy in the locker room too. I think we all been getting along really well and blending well together.
I think, Breffney, we have to talk a little bit about your on-field exploits this season.
My on-field?
No, not yours. You're not good enough.
Conversation, man.
You're not good enough. Your vision, and I've watched this goal a couple of times for Gillian in DLR Waves. The goal that Gillian scored in DLR, when you bring the ball around the keeper, and so many people panic in that situation and be like, but it was nearly as if, and I said this on the show the week after the goal, it was nearly as if a wizard just raised a wand and stopped play, because the way you just turned and swiveled. Talk to us about how you your IQ in football, because it seems as though your ability to find players or bring other players into the game is something that you seem to be thriving on early on this season.
Yeah, that goal was kind of funny because Jill played me like such a good through ball, and I was in one-on-one with the keeper, and then the pitch was bad, and I took a heavy touch to go around the keeper, and so when I went past, like way far past her, I was like, oh shoot, like I don't know, I'm kind of stuck, and then I kind of looked, and the goal defender had gotten back and was in the goal. The goalie was in the goal, and I was like, I can't shoot from here. Like it's gonna get blocked. It's a bad angle, and so I just picked my head up, and Jill was just running right up behind me, and she was calling for it. So I just laid it off to her, and I thought she was gonna hit it one time, but she just like calmly took a touch and just placed it like so nicely into the net. So I was glad she was able to finish that.
I think it's the composure. Like it almost seemed like time stood still for you, and I suppose it was so out of character for the players in the league that the defender and the keeper on the line didn't even move when Jill got the ball. Like she just left them dead.
Yeah.
fantastic finish. It was just something different that we haven't seen in the league before. What's the goal for Treaty this year? Like, you've talked about top 4. We had said privately off air 4th or 5th. We reckon you're probably in the shake-up for this season. We didn't have you at that in our initial predictions, we'll be honest, but we've been so impressed with the entire squad. And I think that's something that really has stood out this year, is that it's not just you being a player coming in here. There's 4 or 5 really good, solid League of Ireland standard or better players in that side now. There's a bit of depth in that squad. You're not really carrying players on match day. Is that noticeable maybe from your period here last year?
Yeah, I think, I think it definitely feels like kind of different than when I was here in the summer, in terms of that. Like, we do have a lot more depth, I think, and just a lot of versatile players that can come in and that can do well on the field. And yeah, I think, sorry, what was the first thing you asked?
Oh, just about the squad depth, really, in terms of.
Yeah. It's been, we have, like I said, like a pretty young team, but we also have a couple older girls. So I think there's like a pretty big range, and everyone's been like doing really well.
Yeah, and I had actually asked about where you think you could finish this year, and you mentioned.
Yeah, that's right. Like I think it's pretty reasonable to say, like, top 4, 5 on the table. If we just keep working hard like we're doing and playing. I think Sean's been really great leading us, like the whole coaching staff. Obviously, like, it's every team's goal to like win the league and stuff, but I think for us, even just focusing on like being up there on the table is like a good goal for us.
When you look at that, even you look at the next run of games, Cork City and Sligo, teams who maybe Treaty would have been thereabouts. How important is it though when you get into these positions that, like, you capitalize on it? Because you're gonna, in these sort of games, Treaty are gonna have to make the game. It's gonna be similar to the DLR game, where Treaty are gonna have to do so much of it rather than the other team having a lot of the ball. How important is it though in these sort of games, if you want to finish high up the table, that maybe you keep that standard that you have in training, that that you don't necessarily drop to maybe where other teams are at?
Yeah, I think it's just trying to like just stay as consistent as we can. And I think just, not letting up, not getting comfortable, or even, if it's not going our way, not getting down, not breaking as a team. Like, I think just staying together is really important, and just like to keep, working hard in practice and focusing on the goal and the task at hand to finish like up at the top level of the table.
Looking at the league table as it stands at the moment, you're in 5th, but the 4 teams above you all play each other over the next 2 weeks. You've got 2 what should be winnable games again at home against Cork City and Sligo Rovers. Based on form, you'd expect you to get 2 wins from those games based on how you've been playing. You could be top of the table after 5 games. Nobody would have had that in their bingo card for the Women's League of Ireland this season. Have you allowed yourself to think that far forward, or is it just a kind of every game, take it as it comes?
Yeah, I think taking it more as like just every game at a time, especially because there's like 1 game a week, and we do have a bye week next week. So I think it's just focusing on each game at hand, not thinking too far ahead, and like not trying to worry too much about results of other teams, just focusing on our game, what we can do. I think that's just like the most important to stay focused. Yeah.
You talked about that international break coming up. What does a player like you do over that course of that period? Do you go travel a bit of Ireland, take a break? What do you do over that period?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to London and with my boyfriend actually. So I'm really excited because I've never seen London before. It's always been like a dream of mine to see it, and it's so great being in Ireland because it's like you just hop on a quick, hour and a half flight to anywhere. Like, so yeah, I'm really excited to do that.
Going for a tour of the Emirates?
Oh no, I think I booked it through Aer Lingus.
No, you're going for a tour of the Emirates Stadium.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I have enough time this time because I have I'm only like 2 days, but I'm actually going to a Liverpool Fulham game. So that
Page for an Arsenal fan, but okay.
I know. Yeah, I tried looking at an Arsenal game, but they're not. They're actually gonna play Real Madrid for the Champions League, like just past when I'm there, so I won't be able to go to that. But
That's unfortunate.
yeah, Liverpool Fulham.
We'll let the league change the fixtures for you to be able to take in the sides. Any chance you have an Irish passport tucked away in the back pocket there, where we might see you in green in the future?
I know. I mean, I have like my great grandma's from Ireland, last name Murray, but no, I don't think I'm able to get an Irish passport.
We know people who know people, great grandmothers.
I
It's not.
mean, maybe that.
We can
Yeah.
pull a string to it.
Okay, no.
Well, Isabella, we've run out of time, unfortunately. Thank you so much for being so generous with your time this afternoon, having a chat with us. It's been a delight watching you. I know we're only 3 games into the season, but it's really impressive to see the impact that yourself and the other girls who've come in, both the imports and the youngsters coming through in Treaty, have made on the squad down there. The very, very best of luck for the rest of the season. I'm sure it won't be the last time we're chatting about you or chatting to you. Thanks very much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Thank you for all the kind words and your support. Yeah, thank you.